It'll take a few minutes, I'm sure. It took me a few minutes to set that up. Darn. I'm sorry about that. Have to get I need a new webcam. That's like two of them. I didn't like this one anyway. The quality was terrible for what it was advertising. It didn't quite work out the way that I wanted it to, but it's okay. We're back in, so it all works out in the end. Say hi as you walk in. What was I talking about? Oh, darn. The cat. Should I start the story over again? Let me know. Let me go back into my channel here and watch my live and let me know. Darn, I don't even know where my comments. It's been so long since I did a live on my phone, but let me know if it all works out here, and let's go. Oh, there we go. Okay. we'll just turn that. I'll just turn that volume off. Oh, perfect. It does have comments there. Excellent. About the cat. So yes, I have a cat. So the cat doesn't have a tail, and the cat doesn't have an ear. It's missing one of its ear. But it's so cute, and it's such a loving cat, right? For like a cat out of the field, like those barn cats are almost always, a little bit feral, but you would never guess it with this cat, right? And it slept with me. It slept with me last night, so yeah, it's only going to be a couple of days. So I sent pictures to the gentleman because he was concerned, right? Like he wanted to make sure the cat went to a good home. He recognized what a nice cat it was, right? So he said, keep us posted, and he thought the cat would be nervous and, hide for a few days, but no, it took, I didn't know where the cat was for an hour, so I just did my own thing. I didn't want it to be scared, so I just did my own thing around the house, right? And I just let the cat be wherever it was. But then it turned out it was sitting behind the toilet when I finally went to look for it. I went, oh hell. So I just went and grabbed the cat and I put it in the bedroom, right? And then it just kind of went underneath the chair and did that for an hour, but it wasn't moving. It was scared, right? And I thought, well, maybe I'll just go sit on the bed and just kind of talk at it for a little bit. And it didn't take long at all, right? It didn't take long at all, and the cat was already loving on me, right? Yeah, absolutely a beautiful cat. I named her Perfect, right? Because it was perfect. It was just the timing, right? Like I didn't even want a growing cat, and yet I got a growing cat, but I got a cat that's missing parts, but you would never know. Like she's so happy. Concerns me a little bit though. This cat's a little chubby, right? Because he said that the cat was so skinny when he took it out of the barn, but he hasn't had the cat for very long. Maybe a month he had this cat, and this cat's a porker, right? So I'm feeling around because I'm sure being a field cat, it wasn't fixed, right? So I'm not sure. Like, what if this cat is yes, perfect. PURRFECT. Yes, if you follow me on Instagram, I'll post it. I don't want to be known as the cat lady, but if I can get this cat used to being outside and used to in a carrier, I was looking at carriers. Carriers are going to cost for a good one, will cost me about $75 Canadian, right? So, yeah, maybe I can give that money to my niece and she can put it on her credit card for me or something. And because the one I was looking at, like I need a good one that will mount to my bar, but has a good frame, right? But also has a window, right? So, she can look out and enjoy the view when we're riding the bike. And also I want it to be rain covered so that, when it's raining outside, we get caught in the rain, because I don't mind the rain myself, but I want her to be comfortable, right? So I thought maybe I would just start at first. I would just start by going on my own, right, over to the park across the street where I live, and then just at nighttime sit in the grass, right, in the field over there at night where there's no people or anything, just to get her used to being outdoors. And then I thought, well, maybe then I can carry her around a little bit, outside in her carrier. And then I thought, okay, then we'll start trying to get her on the bike, because I want her to be ready to go, right? I want her to be able to, I want to be able to take her on bike rides. I want to be able to take her camping with me. I want her to be able to go for car trips with me when I go on, trips. I would like her to go with me and stuff. So, and she would, if I have any opportunities, like to talk to the young kids or the teenagers, right? Like, what a great story, about perseverance and taking care of your pets, right? Like, yeah, this can, be a little mascot that can, do a little bit of good. I wasn't thinking that, when I got the cat, I was thinking, oh, poor cat, and it needed a home. And I thought, that it might have problems, but this cat wouldn't have had problems. It's so cute. Come here. And, oh, I know what'll get her. These things, right? Shake this. Come on. Come on. And then when she comes, I'll put her up here so you can have a quick look at her, right? Because she won't stay on the desk, I'm sure. But she's over there sniffing out the couch. Sniffing out the couch and everything, right? Hey, here you go. Here you go. Yeah. So I got a cat, everybody. So I named her Perfect, right? Because, she's, yeah, a little imperfect is perfect for me, right? Yeah, she belongs in the club. and the people on my Instagram, they like those kind of posts, right? Yeah, forget you, Cindy, and your mindset and your inspirational stuff, show us the kitty cat. I don't blame them. She's really quite adorable. Here you go. Here you go. Yeah. She heard it fall on the floor, so she'll be right over, I'm sure. But how's everybody doing? So I'm watching the comments on both ends. I see, Sharon's here today, and Nancy. How's Nancy doing this week? Oh, and did William tell everybody how he spoke at his church, right? So when William gets in, which I'm sure he'll pop in. But yeah, so it has been a very busy day, doing a little bit of running around and organizing. I don't know if you can tell that I kind of switched. I wanted to open up because I sit at my kitchen window, right? And I like to look at all my art all over the walls. And I had this big shelf over here which blocked like more than half of my living room, that I couldn't see it when I was sitting in the kitchen, right? So I just opened it up. And yeah, and I moved this over here. It works much better. But now I need a new camcorder. Oh, I'm such. Maybe next week I'll try this other one, but I think I missed this one. But it's a much better quality. But the quality on this one is so much better. Yeah. So I have my appointment with the government work program on Tuesday. So I'm actually going to get my very own worker that's going to work with me, right? That's going to help put an action plan together for me to get back to work. I won't think I'll be going into marketing, right? Digital marketing or anything, because they're not really, they don't do that sector in the industries, right? So. But you never know, right? They're all about, hiring, getting hires and employers together. So you never know. And it might tie in well to whatever job. I did ask them if I could get a bartending or a serving position, right? Because it would make me happy, right? It's important for me to actually love and I did love bartending, and I did love serving. I did like, meeting the customers and getting to know people and building up regulars, and yeah, making a little bit of money that was noticeable, for the boss, that he knew where that money was coming in because Cindy put that little bit extra effort in, right? So I did like bartending. It was a fun job, and it paid fairly well, even though last few times that I did it I was very wasteful with the money. But I never learned budgeting, right? My whole life I never learned to budget. If there was something I really, really wanted, I would have to put big chunks away, not little payments. I couldn't do it. Otherwise, when I run out of money, I would need money, and I would take from the jar, right? So it was important. Even my credit cards. Oh yeah, my financiers are just a absolute mess. But you know what? I'm back on track. That a lot of my stress is over and done with. I can feel that I'm starting to go up a little bit. I'm feeling a whole lot better. And yeah, we got to keep that momentum. So I'm really, really happy that I got the cat, right? What's going on with Sharon? I have to backtrack a little bit. But yes, I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited to have a cat, and I'm pretty excited to see, right? Because I know the universe knows what I really want, right? So if I just relax, right? And I know the universe would not let me have a cat that I wouldn't be able to take with me outdoors, especially when I that's all I've been talking about, is getting a cat that would be good with going with me. I mean, no, I can only expect that it'll be good to be on a leash at all times, right? But you never know. I am a cat whisperer. But yeah, it cheered me up instantly. Like instantly I knew what her name was even before she got here, and even the gentleman who was taking care of her said that it was a yeah, he really liked the name. And yeah, I thought it was I usually give them little pet names, like Poopy Doo or Cutie Pie or something, right? Cutie Patootie, right? I think you look like a cutie patootie for me. Yeah, so yeah, I wish she would walk over here. But yes, she doesn't like the dogs. The cars bother her a little bit as she's driving down the road. So I can tell it's going to take a little bit of warming up. But you know what? It's a matter of trust, right? If she loves me and she trusts me, she'll let me do with her what I want, right? Because she'll trust that I would never hurt her, right? Or put her in harm's way. So that's the stage that I need to get her at, and I'd like to get her to that point as fast as I can, which means I have to take her in to get her first shots and get her fixed right away, get the painful part out of the way, right? So she's not traumatized when she's feeling a little bit better and she trusts, and then all of a sudden she's thrown into the pain, and then she loses that trust that she thinks that we're going to hurt her again, right? So yeah, I want to get that done right away. So hopefully next week I can, yeah, I'm sure there won't be more than $100 or something to get her fixed and get her first shots. Let's hope not, but she's well worth it, aren't you? Do you want a treat? Come on. Come here. Come here. I don't know. She keeps running to me whenever I do this before, but she's just being stubborn today. I'm just shaking here, trying to trick her. I don't want, oh, I just spilled it all over the floor. Oh yeah, here she comes. When she saw that the bag, okay, so I'm gonna give her I'll give her a quick lift up onto the desk so that you guys can see. I'm sure, like I said, she's gonna jump off right away, but I'll make a nice clearing for her so she can she can run across and jump into her bed. Oh, and she's got this great big bed. It's so fluffy. It's like this. It's that thick, right? Yeah. There she's come. She's being a little picky. Here she is. See, she can see she's missing an ear, and if she turns her palm around, you can see her little stubby. Is that just like the most adorable thing you ever seen? Look at the little stubby. Look at the little stubby. Yeah, yeah. I think she's just absolutely. Oh, here she comes again. You want another one? Here. There you go, you guys can. I'm having so much fun, but yeah, see, you can see her ear there. Isn't she? She just absolutely, and she trusts me already. Like she trusts me already, right? Right? She just really, really likes me. But you can tell she's got one of those coats, like she's got such pretty colors and everything, right? But she has one of those coats that are almost like the fur, right? Where you have that extra layer of fur underneath the fur, so that softness isn't there. But the trick to that, I'm sure she'll just jump off on her own. You want to just get off on your own? There you go. Yeah, so, but I'm sure she'll just go and have a few cans of tuna, and that's the perfect tip. If you want a nice healthy coat, is to pour tuna juice over their cat food, right? Cats love tuna juice when you make tuna sandwiches and stuff. That tuna oil and tuna water is really, really good for cat fur, right? It makes it strong, and it makes it healthy, and it makes it so the cats don't shed. So if anybody, has cats out there and needs a good trick, that's what the trick is for healthy fur is the tuna juice, right? Yeah. I don't do the tuna and oil. I'm sure it would work the same way. Might be a little bit more fattening, but yeah. But yeah, that was my cat. So you can see that she's already super comfortable with me, eh? I'm just gonna scroll down here and see what kind of comments that I'm missing for everybody. Fearless, earless. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. Yeah. No. And it's so cute. Like when I call her, right? And she runs to me. She runs like one of those show horses, off to the side, when they do those little trot dances, right? And she does that, and then her stump goes up in the air, and she wiggles. I never even thought of it, but it's just like the cutest thing ever with this stump. It actually wiggles, right? I don't know if it hurts her or not. I don't want to think that it hurts her, but she seems like a pretty happy cat, right? And at first, when she was dancing like that, when I called her, I thought, oh, maybe she got frostbite on her paws too, and her paws hurt her. But no, it's her way of dancing to show she's happy. She does it like she's kneading the ground as she's walking or running or trotting. I don't know what it is, but it's adorable anyway. But you can tell everybody how happy I am to have a pet. Pets are important. If you're not, by your, you don't have family and friends, and you spend a lot of time with yourself. You're usually spending a lot of time in your head. And when you're doing that, it's almost like studying, like all the time, like you're constantly entertaining yourself. You're inside your head thinking, right? So it's important to do interactions. And if you're not going to go out to coffee shops or, community centers or to the mall and, actually interact with people, even online, right? It's important to find outlets where you can be social. And yeah, with me it was cats. Like I said, I've never gone without a cat. And like I said, when my cat passed away, I really was determined I was going to go camping, but then my mother passed away and I felt bad for my sister, so I took her cat thinking that her cat wasn't going to last very long, right? And yeah, that was the cat that never would never die. Yeah, he just lasted forever. I think he was pretty close to 20 when he passed away. And he turned out to be an absolutely amazing cat. Like you couldn't even touch this cat, right? And he had dried poop on his bum, and he was nasty, and he would bite you, and he wouldn't let you pet him or anything. And yeah, and I took him. I didn't want him. He was not a nice cat, but I brought him home, and Yeah, within a week, yeah, I was carrying him around the house, and within a couple of weeks, he cleaned his own bum, and he turned out to be the most beautiful cat. Sometimes it's just changing environment, right? And yeah, so I noticed when my last mom's cat died, right? And I was determined, okay, I'm going camping, I'm going traveling. I don't want a pet, but I noticed my mood changed a lot, right? Like I didn't realize how important it was for me to have a cat, just to do the small talk and, give it a pat on the head or, have somebody, sleeping at the end of the bed, when you go to bed at night and stuff. So I noticed for me, even though I don't mind being alone, I found that having a cat did lots for me, kind of like pet therapy kind of thing. So yeah, the moment the decision was made that I was getting a cat, I was super excited. And I'm still absolutely thrilled, and this cat is with me right to the end. I don't abandon my animals. So, as long as he's around, he will be with me. And if he's just a young cat, it could be another 20 years that he'll be with me, right? So yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the missing ear when I put him up on the desk, but I guess you can backtrack, right? And yeah, he hasn't jumped up on my lap, but I usually pretty much stay in my office chair, and there really isn't much room for a cat too. But you don't know, he's an awfully lovely cat, and very affectionate. Like I don't know if you can hear him, but he's purring nice and loud, right? And yeah, he likes my company. I hope he likes the carrier. I'm determined. He's going outdoors. I'm taking him with me. He's going on my bike rides, and he's going on camping trips with me, and my road trips when I go on my country drives. We're going to be he's going to be he's I'm going to bring him up like a dog. Yeah. Yeah, he's lucky I didn't call him Rover. Oh, David's here too. Awesome. Yeah, so yeah, the past week has been going pretty good, right? Like I'm just keeping up the momentum, and I'm just trying to get stuff done. Like I know where I want to go, and I am pointed in that direction, but that's all I am, is pointed in that direction. and and yeah. Hmm. But I've got a roof over my head. Spring is here, right? I've got a cat. I'll be on my bike. I haven't gained any weight, right? Those couple of pounds that I bounced up and down, but I'm going to lose another 10 pounds. I want to lose another 10 pounds, and then I'm going to bounce in between that 10 pounds, right? I don't think I want to be anything less than 160. Like I think I would feel good around that weight, right? I would feel health wise, I would feel good, right? And I want to feel good about myself no matter what way I look like, right? And yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about myself right now. Not feeling pretty good about my webcam, but yeah, I guess I'll just add that to the list for something to deal with this week, right? Yeah. But if you pop in, give me the thumbs up, right? Because YouTube will shoot this out to other people on Sunday nights, right? That want to come and hang out with us on Sundays if they get the thumbs up, right? And they'll know that people enjoy hanging out with us. But the comments aren't popping up on my on my phone, but they're popping up on my monitor. So I've got most of them coming up on now. As long as I don't look at the screen, because there's like a time lapse, right? Yeah. But hi, David. And Kathy and Sharon's here, and Andrew. Owen here yet? No, Owen's here, not here yet. William's not here yet. Kim's not here yet. See, I notice. I notice. Yeah, so did we have any holidays? Oh yeah, the Valentine's Day from hell. Holidays are just the worst for me. You know, very I do have some good holidays that don't go sour on me, but on the norm something usually goes wrong for me on holidays. It's like tradition. And I know it's because I expect it to happen that these terrible things happen to me. Yeah. But it all works out on the end, right? You just let things play out the best you can, and you just ride the waves, right? And that's what life is all about, right? And I'm just, even though I'm on an upswing, right? It's battling on this upswing, and yeah, but along the way, the little bonuses, right? I got my utilities, I got a roof, I'm grateful, right? I've got a roof over my head. Pretty soon I'll be able to go out and go metal detecting, and I'll be able to go camping, and I'll be able to have my car back, hopefully, right? And have a good job and in a nice hotel or a nice lounge, bartending, and then still working and studying towards, my goals, right? Yeah, but have a good time. Oh, thank you for the thumbs out. How nice is that? Oh, and Owen's here too. Yeah, and just have a nice year this year, right? I would like to get a new editing program and go back to, uploading my videos and stuff. I just need a little bit of stability in my house, in my life, a little bit. I need a little bit more routine, a little bit more stability for a little while. It gives me, it'll just calm things, so I'm just not all over the place, right? Just set some directives and just go there without having to worry about this or worry about that, or how am I going to do this, right? If I can get those things off my plates, then I can, think of some really creative, neat things to do. Yeah. But yeah, oh, and make sure you backtrack and see my new cat. Make sure you go back and take. I'll pop him up here again on the disc if he walks by, right? Yeah, my webcam was doing that buffering thing, so I just thought I would just go live on my phone tonight. I have the Google Pixel, right? I really love this phone, and yeah. Oh yeah, this is, see, and I can adjust it a little bit for myself and everything. And I wasn't planning on going, so I've just got this little thing here that I just kind of sat it down. But yeah, see, I've got the neighbors' dogs, right? Oh, I feel so bad for them down at the end of the block. They spent all summer renovating their house, just beautiful, the outdoor decking. They did all the windows again. They broke open the back wall and put a big kitchen in. And then the next door neighbors moved in. They had 3 dogs. They were letting their dogs out in the backyard at like 4 o'clock in the morning. The dogs were like barking, and it was bad. I'm at the other end of the block, right? And it was bad for me, so I can imagine, how bad it was for them. And they did all that beautiful work on their house, and they moved, right? Because they couldn't, and they didn't stay very long. Yeah, they just got rid of that house right away, right? And yeah, I felt bad for them. 3 dogs, right? Like, yeah, you can't let your dogs go out there and bark like that at 5 o'clock in the morning. I would think that that's like noise pollution, right? But yes, I changed my shelving unit. I put it on the other side because when I sit at my kitchen window, right, I like to look out my kitchen. I open up the window and get fresh air, and I light a candle, and I watch. There's a neighbor, and he plays with his dog with the hockey stick and the hockey pucks, right? And he shoots the pucks and the balls down the block, and the dog runs down and gets them and plays fetch with him, right? So I like to sit and I like to watch them watch them play. He's got the most adorable dog, right? And I like to watch the wind when it's blowing into trees and stuff. Like today, the wind and the snow was blowing really, really hard, but it was mild outside, so it was actually quite beautiful. So I was really enjoying it being outside today. But it's nice to sit in the window too, right? Plus, I'm trying to spend a little bit of time with the cat to make sure that the cat is comfortable, because I don't want the cat to be hiding. I want the cat to stay out right away. I have a broom closet. I put the cat litter box in the broom closet, and I shut the closet, right? But I didn't so it clicks. I didn't put it so it's clicked. And right away, he's using his paws and he's opening up the door to go in and use the cat litter box, right? And then when I walk by, my last cat opened and closed the door. Like when he was done, he would close his door on his cat litter, right? So I'm kind of hoping he will, or she will eventually do the same thing. But I'm happy that she'll open up the door, because at least I can keep the door closed, right? So I'm happy I've got that hall closet just for the cat litter box and nothing else, right? That was the only thing I didn't like. That's why I got hooked on the Freshmatics. I don't know if anybody out there uses the Freshmatics, right? Because like they squirt freshener every 30 minutes. Well, you can set it for every 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes, but I always set it for every half an hour. It gives a squirt into the air, right? And I did that. I got hooked on those because it covered up the cat litter, because I don't like the smell of cat litter boxes, right? I like to keep my cat litter box clean and everything. And yeah, so I really, really love the Freshmatics, like, and even when I don't have the cat litter box, I still get the Freshmatics, right? And they have beautiful, yeah, it's a free plug. Not like I have lots and lots of people, but watch this, but even 10 more people that use the Freshmatics. Like, what a great product that Freshmatic is. I really, really like it. But you never know. It's squirting into the air, right? So you don't know what you're breathing in for when it's squirting in the air. But I'm sure they wouldn't have, filled it full of chemicals, but you never know, right? It's always better to be safe than sorry. But I really do love the Freshmatics, yeah. So, and they have all kinds. I'm using a lilac right now, and each can lasts like 2 months, so I don't even worry about the air or anything, right? Because it just runs on battery, and every half an hour just gives a little bit of a squirt, and I have it right at the entrance, right where the cat litter box is. And yeah, it's sometimes you come across those really, really great products, right? And you always gotta let people know about them, right? Because people don't know how amazing, the Walmart cat litter. I know it comes in, they're like 20 kg containers, right? But it's called Kitty Scoop. I think that's what they call it, but it's a Walmart brand, right? Of cat litter. And I wouldn't buy any other cat litter anywhere. It's such amazing cat litter, right? It doesn't leave dust all over your furniture, and it's easy and absorbs well, and it doesn't stink or anything, so there's products out there, like there's lots of products. I don't know if you guys have favorite products that you go, oh wow, everybody needs to know about that. But if you have any of those products, I would like to know, what they are, right? Because there are, remember last week I told everybody about the Balkan yogurt that I happened on to? Oh, the Astro. Yeah, Astro Original it's called. Yeah, Balkan yogurt, yum, absolutely delicious. Yeah, but when I come on to these tips, I always like to let people know, right? And because that's how I learn, right, about great products that, either save you money or that work better, right? Oh, Dave's here. Hey, Dave. Dave, did you see the cat that I got? What a great story, right? About my cat. He's all stretched out. He's practically taken a whole cushion. I keep saying he, but it's a she. Beautiful colors too, right? And you don't really notice that it doesn't have an ear, but I notice it goes like this every once in a while. So I don't know if it's like perfectly healed. It looks healed to me. It looks healed, right? Maybe but maybe some way, you know, when you walk by it or something, the air goes a little bit into the ear, and it makes it feel funny, right? Yeah. Hey, are you all pooped out from your day? Yeah, so when I go to bed, he'll come sleep with me. So yeah, so I got a cat. So I am pretty excited to have a cat. It hasn't been that long, right? I think it was spring. I think it was spring when my last cat got really really sick like that, right? So I didn't wait that long, but yeah, I really didn't think I was gonna get another cat, but I realized that it does give me a lot of emotional well-being to have a pet, right? You know, I live in an apartment, I can't have a dog. I've never had my own dog. Like we've had a couple of family dogs, right? But they were like more like my parents' pets, like not my pets, right? But well, that's not true because my dad took the whole family down to get the multi-poo. We had a multi-family dog that he went and got, and he took the whole family down to go get the dog. We were so excited to get this poodle, right? And yeah, but yeah, to have a dog would be nice. One day. Yeah, this cat, I'm sure I'm gonna have this cat for at least 15 years. It has no idea. Like I said, I'm just going to let it get comfortable for about a week. It's going to be another couple of weeks before the snow goes, right? You know, so I'm just going to change the chat here because I can think I'm missing some of my chats. Oh, oh. Yes, I saw her doing that too, Sharon. Oh, that's a good tip. That's a good tip. But the guy who gave it to me, he didn't seem too concerned, right? Like, he didn't say that it needed any medication. It looked healed up to me. But he said it wasn't too long ago that it did come off, right? Like, I don't know if they, like, literally, he said it fell off. Like, I don't know if they literally fall off. I guess it would, right? It just, oh, wouldn't that be a sight? Like to get up in the morning and have a tail sitting on the floor, right? Yeah, yeah. I don't mind. I don't mind in the very least. And he loves me. He loves me already, and I absolutely knew that he would, right? Like I absolutely knew that he would be absolutely in love with me. Yeah. Who else has got pets out there? Do you still have your son's cat, Sharon? Yeah, cats do last a long time. Yeah, my cats, they always last. My sister's cats always last. She's got a dog it's like a 180-pound dog, and this dog has got to be 16 years old. It's a big dog too, can barely walk, and he's still holding on. He's still doing good, right? Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, we never thought he would be the first dog to go, or we thought he would be the first dog to go, but he's like the last one. Yeah. So my sister said she's going to be getting new dogs, but I hope she gets little dogs, right? Not big dogs. I like little dogs. Hmm. I like English bulldogs, right? I like English bulldogs. And I like little terriers, right? I don't like slobbery dogs, like dogs that slobber. That's the ones I don't like a slobbery dog. But if I were to have a dog, I would be happy with whatever dog. But if there was a preference, it would be, yeah, a non-slobbery dog. Yeah, my mother did birds. My mother and dad both loved animals, right? My mother had she had cages and everything in the basement and underneath the shed and everything. Yeah, I remember, and she gave up a whole garage for her guinea pigs. My mother used to do prize guinea pigs, like long hairs and stuff, right? You know, she loved her guinea pigs, but yeah, always cats, always dogs, rabbits, uh, birds, right? I don't think we had it for very long, oh, right, it was because my mother was allergic to feathers, right? She had to give her bird away, and then we never had birds again because she was allergic to feathers. That was right. But yeah, with me, it's always been cats. Mind you, I had a pet bird this week. A bird got into my apartment, little chickadee, and hung out with me for a little while before he just found his own way out the window, right, and just took off on his own. But I got a little dish that it's frozen well, it's probably not frozen now, but had a little dish sitting there, right? So I filled it up with the sunflower seeds for the birds, right? And every once in a while they walk in on the ledge, right? Because I keep the window there for. I like to keep things fresh in my apartment. I like things to smell fresh all the time, right? So I leave the window open so everything smells fresh. And then when it gets hot in the summer, then I shut the window, right? Because otherwise the humidity in the air and the heat and everything. And I have nice air conditioning. It gets nice and cold in here, so it's nice in here. It gets super hot here in Manitoba in the summertime. It gets super hot. We have beautiful summers. So yeah, looking forward to doing some camping and some exploring, right? Yeah. Did you have church today, David? I actually gave David a thought, actually. It was yesterday. Now, what was I thinking about David? There was something that I had a question for David. That's what it was. I had a question and I couldn't remember what the question was. If it pops into my mind, I'll have to make sure that I ask him. So it was obviously a religious question, right? That I wanted to ask. Oh, it's there. You know that, like I said, I need my car back, right? So it'll probably be another month yet before I'm able to afford the insurance on the car. I'm going to be able to pay some of the back bills on it, right? You know, some of the late payment fees and stuff. I'll get that all cleared up next weekend. I'll be able to do that, but yeah, to get the car back, I have to be able to afford the insurance. So I need to be at work before that's done. But the last time I was at the fort, there were leaves actually growing out of all those sticks that we cut down for building the fort. There were actually green leaves growing out of them when I went. I couldn't believe that the leaves were still trying to stay alive, and it made me feel bad, right? Makes me only want to cut down the deadfall and not to cut down the seedlings that grow out there. But we grow those seedlings specifically for the walking sticks, right? They grow so fast, you know. You cut one down and yeah, even the very next year they'll be like half grown already. That's how fast they grow, right? Ah. She sounds like a cutie though, but hopefully she doesn't fall off the roof. Oh, can you imagine? Lab, Shepherd, Bull Terrier? So it would be a smaller dog then, I would think, right? Bull Terrier. It would be a smaller breed, David? Yeah, I would like to have a dog. One day I'll have a dog. Right now I'm happy to have the cat, right? I'm happy to have the cat. And I thought my sister would freak when I said I'm getting a cat. And I thought, oh my gosh, she's gonna put her foot down and say no, you're not. And then I'm gonna have to like go against the rules and stuff, right, to get the cat, because I'd already made the decision that I was gonna have the cat, right? But Yeah, my sister has a soft spot for pets too. She doesn't like to see pets suffer, right? Like he only took in that cat. That cat was living in the shed. Thank goodness it found a shed, right? At least it got out of the wind. Can you imagine that cat getting trapped out in the field as the snow's coming in and it gets to be like 40 below zero and the wind chills, and this cat like is going like, what the hell? What do I do now? And the next thing you know, it goes up to go walk somewhere and it leaves its tail behind, right? Because it got stuck in the ice or something, I don't know, right? And then it was lucky for the cat that it found a shed, right? It found a shed, and I guess it was crying, and the owner who lived at the house, right, noticed the cat footsteps, so tracked it down to the shed and started to feed it, right? And then when he was able to get the cat's trust, he snagged onto the cat and brought it into the house. And then that's when the cat's ear fell off, right? When he brought the cat into the house. But he got the cat really fat, really fast, right? Like I looked at this cat and it's a short cat. Like it's not a long cat. It's a very short cat, but holy moly, it's like a basketball, right? So I thought, oh, what if this cat is pregnant, right? Because I asked him if the cat had been into heat since he had it in. Mind you, he never even had the cat, I don't think, for more than just over a month or so, right? So, and it's just been starting to warm up now. But what do you do with a cat that's already been brought into the house and been kind of domesticated a little bit, right? What if he walks up to another farmhouse or something, and obviously, most likely they're going to have dogs, and then it gets shredded apart by dogs that aren't used to cats coming up to the door, right? Yeah, so I'm very, very grateful to have the cat. So what else is going on today? Just let me look at the comments here. I don't even have the heat on, you know. Dave, when I live here, like they save so much money with me living here, because my heat's off all the time. Like, heat rises anyway, but my windows are always open. I love the cool air. Plus, I have a fan going on. Like, I don't even turn my fan off, right? I just turn the fan on. It just stays on all the time, right? So it circulates the air in the bedroom and pulls the air into the living room and out the front or the kitchen window, right? So it keeps everything fresh and smelling clean and everything, right? And now that I have a cat, it's even more appreciated, right? Yeah, I don't know that you would never guess that this cat was feral at any time, right? You would never guess, but food. Food makes friends really, really fast, right? Yeah, so you feed the cat, then you get its loyalty. And soon as it knows that you're not gonna harm it or hurt it, right? Then it will relax. Yeah, but with me it was just, I just went in, like I realized it wasn't gonna do anything on its own. It was gonna need some coaxing. So I just went in and I sat on my bed and I just did the baby talk to it for just a few minutes, and I got him to rub up against my leg right away, right? Now, okay, that's a good start, right? And then I picked it up and I put it on the bed beside me, but I took my hands away right away just so he knows that he could do whatever he wants. And he walked around the bed a little bit on his own, right? And then he came up beside me and rubbed up against me, and then he jumped down and I filled up his cat food dish and he had some food, and then he got up on the bed again on his own without coaxing, and then he just laid beside me. But he's overexcited. She's overexcited too, right? Because she's getting lots of love right now, lots of attention, and she always will, right? Because I am a cat person. That's how I interact, right? Like I said, it's important to be able to interact, and if you're not doing with family or friends or coworkers, right? Then it's important that maybe get a pet or get yourself a plant, right? And stick it in the window and take care of the plant like it's your baby, right? You do little things to to compensate, right? So that it doesn't hurt so much, because otherwise you're just going to give yourself in a depression. And I noticed I really missed, not having a pet, not having a cat, right? I did have rats at one time. I enjoyed having rats, but it was so sad because rats only live to be 2 to 3 years old, right? And I had two rats, and yeah, I loved those rats to death, and they lasted quite a while. And when I got those rats, I had to go into the hospital for a couple of weeks, and they got out of their cage, and they ended up living in my couch for a couple of weeks with no food. And when I got out of the hospital, they were so skinny. I was surprised that they were even alive, right? But they just a couple of days of good eating, and they were good to go. But yeah, I loved rats. They were so affectionate, even more affectionate than cats, right? I really, really loved my rats. But the thing is, it was so sad because, like I said, they only lived 2 to 3 years, right? Cats, mice, and rats. I had rats. I didn't do mice. I liked rats, right? Yeah. And I did those. I had two white ones, and they were great pals. Yeah. Yeah, if she had lost an ear and she had lost a tail, right? So she would have for sure, even being out of the wind, being in the shed, a raccoon would have got her, or something, right? He said when he got her, she was so skinny, he said, like she was so skinny. And I said, holy cow, she's a little porker now. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh, I hope she's not pregnant, because she's a real roly-poly. Like she's like a basketball, right? But, I'll deal with it as I deal with it, right? Like it's, you don't start thinking about it and, manifesting these things if you don't have to, right? It is what it is. And, if she's pregnant, well, then that'll be an interesting experience too. Yeah, I might even keep one of the babies, right? If she had a little orange one, right? Because I like orange tabbies. I like orange cats, little orange tabbies. Like she's a beautiful cat too, but I would like, hello, little stretchy poo. Yeah, when she stretches out, she stretches out. Yeah, she's all relaxed now. She doesn't have a problem in her new home at all. She hasn't done lots of exploring, a little bit, but she's not terrorizing and running around and stuff. Mind you, I've got lots of wires and stuff everywhere, right? Because of the way I got the setup. Well, who was it that mentioned that I changed it? But yes, I switched it up because I wanted to see my whole living room when I was sitting at the kitchen window. Like I have a nice wall of art here, and I like my living room. So yeah, I was really pleased that I did it opened up, but I have to figure out the camera setup, right? Yeah. I ruined another one. I don't know. I got to be a little bit more careful, right? Because I'm not thinking anything of it. Like even tonight, I dropped the webcam on the floor, setting it up on my tripod, right? I didn't want to set it up on my monitor because, then all you see is my head, right? It's so much better if I got a little bit of, widescreen, a little bit of the set behind me, right? So I just switched it up just a little bit for now. I'm changing the whole thing around. I might keep the colors. I like the colors. And it looks good on the film. But I think this is all gonna change my books, right? Like you can't even see. Look at there. We got to do that. He wouldn't be happy if I didn't have that there. And Evan's got a new book coming out in a couple of weeks, right? So and I ordered that one before I went poor, so at least I don't have to worry about that. But I don't know if he's mailing it out or next time I see him, I don't know how he's. Well, it's not like everybody's gonna see him, so I'm sure he's mailing those books out, right? Yeah. Good cup of coffee. It's right here, but I'm using my phone today, right? I'm using my phone today, so I don't I don't have this hooked in because it's a USB mic, right? And I do have an adapter for my phone, but I'm not sure if my Yeti will work with the phone. I'm sure there's an adapter somewhere where I can get, but I'll get it sorted out. I'll get a proper camera this time, right? Yeah, I should have done it. I thought, oh, City, you're gonna save $20. Get this camera, it's 1080p. Get this camera, it's $20 cheaper, right? And that's what happens sometimes when you just go for cheap, and then what you get is cheap, right? Then you get something that doesn't work properly. I wasn't happy with the composition of that webcam to start with, right? I liked my 720 much better, but I messed that one up too, I guess, dropping it on the floor one too many times, right? But yeah, the cat's all conked out, right? So how's Nancy this week? Did she say, guys, how she was doing? She's just in the background. Let me just check back to see where Nancy is. But, oh, way back there. There she is. Oh, all about my cat. Yeah, it was frostbite that she lost her tail and her ear from, right? Yeah, so it gets cold here, it gets really cold here. Two of my sister's cats were cats that she grabbed outside, before winter came. One of them was a kitten, right? Like people in the fall and people when they're moving, they just leave their cats outside. You can't do that here in Manitoba. Cats just don't survive, right? We do live in a province. We have really high in way donations, which kind of makes me proud, right? That we rate very highly in North America when it comes to donations per capita here. So we do like to give, right? And Humane Society is a big one for donations, but yeah, in the winter time, I can just imagine how many cats get stuck. I remember, actually, I was just telling this story not too long ago. I was driving home from the mall, and in the street I was looking as I was driving, and there was something, those grates where the sewage comes up and it comes steaming everything. You don't really notice it in the cold weather, you do, right? But it's where it's the sewage, but it's the cover, sewage cover, right, on the street. There was a cat that was like clinging to it, trying to stay warm, right? And the steam, she was covered in snow and everything because she was trying to stay warm from the warm steam of this sewage coming out of this pit, right? And I don't know what you call it, like where it drains water, but it's for sewage, right? So I felt so bad, and so I jumped out of my car and went, oh, I don't need a cat, but I couldn't just leave the cat frozen to this thing, right? So I went to grab the cat, and then the cat ran away and wouldn't come near me, right? So I was, I think of that all the time. Like, did that cat make it that night, right? So a lot of that happens here in Manitoba. And like I said, when I'm urban exploring all the time, I find a lot of those cats curled up in little balls in the abandoned houses in the cupboards, right? Because what else are they going to do? They're going to eat out the mice that are in the abandons, right? And then they're going to curl up in a cupboard because there's nowheres to go from an abandoned house way out in the fields and everything, right? Like, there's nowheres to go. It's not like it can go through 5 feet of snow anywheres, right? And it can't walk on top of snow. Like, it's never, domestic cats aren't made that way, right? So yeah, this cat wouldn't have had a chance. Like, it was a miracle that this cat made it to the shed, right? And all it did was lose a tail and an ear. It could have been frozen solid. Most of those animals are, and she turned out to be Absolutely just adorable, adorable little cat, right? Oh, wait a minute, you guys, I'm not even thinking. Like, look at it because I'm on my phone tonight. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this little cutie patootie. Ah, can you see that? Can you see that? See? Can you see that though? She's got no ear. Hey? Huh? She's fast asleep. Huh? She's fast asleep. She's not even moving. What a cutie patootie, right? I wasn't even thinking, and I'm on my phone tonight, so I could walk around, right? I could walk around with my camera tonight, but let me look at the comments here and see what I'm missing. Yeah, so I woke up this morning. Yes, I woke up this morning to the cat too, right? So it was nice that it stayed and slept with me for a little bit, right? Hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, I showed my nest, didn't I? Yeah, and besides the studio, well, I guess it's not too messy, right? I'm just trying to clear out some of the big furniture, right? I got rid of two of my big dressers and a shelf I got rid of, so I'm really pleased that some of the big stuff is going, right? Because I'm gonna have to eventually go into either a less expensive place, and I don't know how less expensive I can get than this. Like, I have this beautiful 700 square foot apartment in a very prime neighborhood, right? A neighborhood that everybody wants. And I have a beautiful picture window with elm trees that line like a big tunnel of elm trees. It's so beautiful here, right? And they did renovations last year. But the rent, it keeps me trapped here. The rent keeps me trapped here because it's so inexpensive. Like, how do you move, right? From something that's inexpensive, and I've been here for so long, but I'm so ready for a change, right? you know and plus, everybody knows about the situation that I got myself into, right? Like, the whole building knows. Like, I get up in the morning and I go to my door and somebody's put a loaf of bread in a Safeway bag and put it on my doorknob for me. And when I had my hydro cut off, and the caretaker, had to give me permission to run a line out into the hallway, right? And then my neighbor downstairs, he comes up, knocks on my door, and asks me if he can make me a cup of coffee, or can he give me some of his groceries from his cupboards and stuff. So it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing, right? you know and I expected it to be. But I think what surprised me more than the embarrassment was the fact that there was so much kindness going on in this building, right? Like, I barely talked to the Chinese family, except, to say hello when I cross them in the hallways, right? But, she's offering to make me soup, right? So she's, oh, I made soup. Would you like some soup? And just everybody, just the kindnesses of everybody to be so thoughtful towards me, right? Like, even then they said, we didn't know how to bring it up because we know what your situation is, right? But it is what it is, right? And we would like to help if we can help. And the whole building that I live in did that, right? So, as touching it is as it is, it's time for me to move on, right? Where people don't know my boohoo's, and because that way I don't even have to think about it, right? Because I want to start off on a positive footing, right? I was meant to always be happy, and yeah, I don't know how I could have ever allowed myself to get into that state. It was so amazing that I actually found this, right? And I tore myself right down, and now I'm going to build myself right up. You guys, you got to just watch what I'm going to do, and it's not going to take me long to put it all together either. It's not going to take me long at all. But let me take a look at the comments. down here and see what's going on. But we do all three of those, Dave. I know when I was a kid, it was Chesterfield, and then sofa. I never really use sofa. I usually do couch. We usually do couch here, with the yeah couches. Yeah, I'm going out to buy a new couch. Yeah. But yeah, that was my. No, it's an apartment building. Yeah, it was built. I think there was a mansion here before, and then they cut off the street because they wanted to make like a schoolyard, a bigger schoolyard. Because the school, I have a really old school, brick school behind me. It's well over 100 years old. This school, right? And yeah, so they had to block the street off so they could make like a big field for sports events for the kids, right? Yeah, so they tore down the mansion and they made the street over here, and then they built this little apartment block here. Absolutely. There's only 11 suites in my block. So it's a small apartment block, but at the same time, it's like living in a small town, right? Everybody knows your business, right? But yeah, it was so kind, and it was everybody in my block did that, right? Yeah, it's just, you think that people don't care, and then, it surprises you when actuality, that people do care. You're just not paying attention, right? Yeah. And I didn't even ask, right? It was just all offered, get up, and big loaves of bread, and yeah. But it was really sad. Oh, when I had my hydro cut off, it was so cold here. It was like the -40s. Maybe it was that batch where no, that wasn't too. She wouldn't have healed up that fast, but it was so cold here, and I was covered in my sleeping bag and a quilt. I had my toaster on the floor, and I ran the cord out into the hallway just so that I could play on my phone and turn my computer on, right? Yeah, caretaker didn't like that, but after a while, as soon as I burst into tears, it was all good, right? You know? And I didn't mean to, but it usually happens that way. And yeah, I was happy. He let me use the cord. Yeah, for 3 days, 3 or 4 days, I was without out power. I didn't even think that the thermostat wasn't going to work, and I was going to at least have heat, right? And I didn't even have heat in here, and I wasn't talking to my sisters, and I had no groceries. And what groceries I had, like, you needed something to cook. It's like all I was lucky I had an electric kettle, right? So I could make tea and stuff, right? But yeah, never let myself get in that situation. Just fought to keep the phone on, the power on, I didn't fight to keep the rent. I would have been perfectly content to have lost it all, right? I would have taken it as a sign. I would have taken it as a sign that I was supposed to go in an opposite direction, right? So I was letting things crash the way they were. I was kind of maneuvering it a little bit if I could, right? If I thought I could. But I was just trying to get myself to crash a certain way so it didn't crash another way, right? And yeah, let's just go upwards. That's all I'm saying. I'm just I am just tired of just being in the hole all the time, like my whole life being in a hole. And at least emotionally, I'm feeling so much better. And that is 90% of the battle, right? Because when you're not feeling good, and when you don't have that self-worth and that self-confidence going on, it's hard to pull yourself out. It's almost impossible, right? So you gotta set goals, even little goals, even if you just accomplish just little things, like me, write 6 things down and try and get 3 things done, the next day, just push yourself just a little bit harder, and just try to keep the best attitude as you can, and just keep remembering that, it does get better, right? I feel it. Things are going to get better real soon. And that's true, David. Oh, that's so true. I and I noticed it, like I was at the grocery store the other day, and I had my groceries, and I went outside, and there's a table outside, but I had to adjust all my groceries in my backpack because I had a long walk home, right? So I got my backpack out and I took my groceries and I was packing them in my backpack really well. And this lady walked up to me and she asked me for a cigarette, right? And I don't smoke, right? And she said, and I just apologized to her and told her I didn't smoke. And she stood beside me, and it was obvious that she had some problems, right? So turned out she was homeless. She was a homeless lady, and she was just staying in that area until the doors opened in the church, because they give her yoga mats, and she sleeps in the church, right? And me and her were just talking, and she was just the nicest lady ever. Obviously she had some problems, but like it was all from heartbreak, right? you know her boyfriends and her husbands breaking her heart, and her children breaking her heart, and losing her job, and breaking her own heart, right? And losing hope. And she ended up on a yoga mat in a church, and here I am boo-hooing, and at the very least I have a roof over my head, right? And I thought, oh, Cindy, maybe you could bring her over to your house, and let her have the shower, and she could have a nice bath, and maybe have some clothes in the closet for her and stuff, right? But she was asking for money, and she was asking for cigarettes, and she kind of looked like she was, didn't mean to judge, but she looked like she was, might have been high, or she might have been drinking or something, right? Like I don't do those kind of things, right? But it was hard to tell, but she just seemed really off. So I just thought it would be better safe. But if I saw her in the neighborhood again, right, I could invite her over for lunch, right, or something. I could make a nice lunch and then just feel it out whether or not I want to offer a couch for a night. But at the same time, I don't want her to be living here, right? Because obviously she's homeless, and I would feel bad, and I would want to help out, right? But yeah, my apartment really isn't for roommates, and I'm not really a roommate kind of person. Yeah, I'm not really a roommate kind of person. As long as I have my own space, I guess, like my own room, and yeah, a deck to get outside, or a backyard to sit in or something, right? Yeah. You're finally getting up. Were you having a good sleepy? Yeah, this cat was crashed. I was giving it a rub and everything, and it wasn't even paying any attention to me. Okay, everybody, it looks like it's 9 o'clock. Wow, that hour and a half went fast, didn't it? Huh? Yeah, I know. I can't help it, but I always think the very least you could talk to them like they're human beings, right? Because when she came up to me, like she started crying and everything, because the manager at the grocery store had kicked her out of the bathroom. He actually opened up the door when she was in the bathroom, and removed her from the bathroom, right? So I felt bad for her, because she was like a homeless person, right? And she had her dignity in this. It's hard, dignity. If you don't have any dignity to feel good about yourself, right? Then it's really hard to pull yourself up. So I kind of felt bad for her. So I didn't mind, chatting with her for about 15 minutes. But then her friends turned around the corner, and yeah, she left me in a flash. She was like gone. Oh, nice talking to you. Bye. And then she just scurried away, like not even, didn't even give me time to check into what groceries I had, just to see what I could pawn off on her or anything. But yeah, she was just gone on a flash as soon as her friends were there. Okay, everybody, I guess we'll see you next Sunday. And yeah, and I'll let you know how the cat turned out. How more relaxed, I'm sure we're going to be like the best of friends. And I would think as soon as that snow is gone, I can guarantee you I'm going to have that cat in a carrier, and it's going to absolutely love going for bike rides and going out on little outings with me. I know it will. But if you want to follow, I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to be a cat lady on Instagram, but I might make a couple of posts during the course of the week just for little updates for everybody on how things are going, right? So you can follow me over there because I post on Instagram every day. Oh, which reminds me, I still got my post to do. It's halfway done. No, it shouldn't take me long. Okay, everybody, have a great night. See you next week. Bye-bye.